Well, Bill Engvall is coming to the Belcher Center in Longview at LeTourneau University this coming Friday night, and I'm not real sure how to start things because I'm just glad you got a few minutes today because looking over your schedule of events, Bill, you've got so much stuff going on right now. The tour obviously is the big thing. Where are you at right now? What is your schedule like the next few weeks? Do you have any days off, or do you just kind of schedule things day after day and just keep going until it's done?
Well, right now I am sitting in Los Angeles. Today I've gone back to college to get my degree because there's just something that just bugged me I never did get. So I'm doing that online. So I got that to do today. I got to do a class today. And then tomorrow I have to go to the studio because I'm shooting an episode of Last Man Standing. They're bringing back the Reverend Paul character. Then Friday, I leave Longview, Texas, come home Sunday, finish taping on Monday and Tuesday. Then Wednesday, we fly home to Park City, Utah, where then the family starts arriving for Christmas. And then somewhere in there, I got an anniversary. I don't know where, but somewhere in the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. It's a week from today, and thank goodness, and I was about to ask you, too, do you have somebody that comes and at least lets you know what your schedule is for the next week, or do you do all this by yourself?
Yeah, I have a person. It's my wife. She tells me where I'm going most of the time because I literally don't know. I mean, I only know where I'm going this week because she just asked me and she happened to just tell me literally 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
But you know what, though? It's all good. You know, I'm looking forward to being back in Longview. I've been there a couple times, one with Neil McCoy's East Texas Angel Network, which is just a wonderful group. And I was hoping he'd be in town, but he's out he's out here, and I'll be over there. So,
doesn't that figure?
Yeah, I know. I love the McCoys; they're great. And you know, it'd be good to get back home to Texas. I just miss the folks, and the show that I got working right now is just so wonderful. I say that because I've finally, excuse my yawn, I've finally gotten to the age where I'm not so worried about it anymore. I used to fret about the show quite a bit. You know, like I had to get a laugh every 3 seconds, and, you know, it was just too much pressure.
I was going to ask you that, too, if that really makes you feel good. Growing up in Galveston and coming to Dallas, graduate from Richardson, and a lot of people don't know, do you still feel that when you come to Texas where you've got family and friends here?
Definitely. You know, it's kind of like the old T-shirt says, you know, born a Texan by the grace of God. You know, it's like, it's kind of, there'll always be Texas blood in me, and I'm proud of that. And I'm more proud of the fact that being from the great state of Texas and all the people that have become famous from this state, that I can be counted amongst those, you know, people that made it. So that's a big thing for me. But, you know, like for the folks coming out to the show, I always tell people, I don't want you to think like you're going to see a comedian. It's going to be funny, but it's more like we just sitting around your living room and I'm the funny guy doing the talking, you know, because it's clean. For those that may not have seen it before, it's a clean show. It's relatable. We don't do any politics, don't do any religion stuff, just because I figure, you know, people get inundated with that stuff all the time, and my job is to make you feel better when you leave than when you got there. And that's kind of what I try to do. How
do you come up with your stuff, Bill? I mean, from one night to the next.
Steal it. No, I write. You know, I write all the time. You know, I may not physically write it, but, you know, I think probably after 40 years of doing this business, I've kind of gotten that ability now to look at something and go, well, you know, that'd be funny. Like I'll say, example, one night, Gail, my wife, went out with her girlfriends to one of these lady parties, you know, where they sell lingerie and perfumes and stuff like that. Well, I was at home watching football game in bed, and she come in, I asked her how the party was. She said it was great. She goes, I got you something. I said, did you really? And she threw on the bed this little pair of baby blue silk skimpy boxer shorts with a pink bow on it. And I looked at her and I said, woman, have you lost your mind? And she goes, well, sorry, I thought about you. And walked out of the room. I thought, way to go, Bill. All you had to do was say thanks. You know, no, you got to be Mr. Funny all the time. So I put them on, kind of sashayed into the kitchen. I said, well, what do you think? She said, good Lord. I said, yeah, I know. You bought them. She goes, yeah, Bill, for me to wear for you.
Oh, my God.
So you see stuff like that, you go, well, that could be funny.
Well, it was, because honestly, I didn't see that coming either.
I don't think she did.
Take us back to that moment where they came to you and Jeff talked to you about the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. That was how I got introduced to Bill Engvall, where the friend comes in and said, have you seen this? Have you watched it? and they had just bought the CD. So we literally sat down at my house that night and listened to the entire CD. And I'm telling you, I had to pause it 4 or 5 times, like a lot of people that heard it for the first time, Bill. But it was just, it was absolutely, it was gut-wrenching to do it. When they came to you with that idea, man, did you see something like that happening in the success it's brought?
No, I don't think anybody did, not even Jeff. I mean, I think we knew it'd be successful. We could have pulled some people in, but, because Jeff was really big, and I was starting to get a name, but we had no idea. Good night, nerds. I mean, there was blue-collar dolls at one place. But, I mean, that's just, generally, that's reserved for a court setting. But,
sure.
It was the perfect storm, bud. It was like we appealed to a demographic that had been, and still to this day, is largely ignored by movie and television. It's just the good, hard-working people in the middle of the country that we were just 4 guys that got along and were kind of funny. And it got to the point where it was getting stupid. I remember one night specifically, we had all come from different parts of the country, so we all had a private plane. And for whatever reason, I don't know why the promoter did this, but he got 4 different limousines. Each person had their own limousine, which is silly because we all just like riding in cars.
Sure.
And the show was over, and we all jumped in our limousines and drove out to the airport. And each limo pulled up to a private plane, and I looked at Foxworthy over the hood of the car, and I said, Bud, this is close to being a rock star as we're going to get. I mean, it was just amazing. And the thing that was most wonderful about this little group was that I think pretty much to a man, everybody knew this was a gift, that we had been given the opportunity. Everybody was funny, but we had been given the opportunity. We've sold out arenas. I mean, there's bands that don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the weirdest sentence you'll ever hear. Blue Collar Comedy Tour held record for holding out Nashville Arena in one day until Bon Jovi dethroned them. Okay, what? You read that sentence, you go, somebody was smoking some pot when they wrote that one.
Yeah, well, boy, that's a great thing to have on your resume, isn't it?
And that's what it is, buddy. It's like, when God blesses me and my wife with grandkids, I'll be able to sit on the front porch with them and say, your granddaddy was part of one of the biggest, it probably never happened again. I said, one of the biggest tours that ever hit this country.
Amen.
And it's just something I didn't know. But, it's my whole career's been like that. Like, I'll give you a prime example. Right now it's Christmas time, and I'll bet you at some point someone's played Here's Your Sign, the Christmas song.
Amen.
And to know that you have created something that will be played for the rest of the time as long as people listen to the radio at Christmas is just amazing. I mean, it's like, and that's why I tell this, I'm going to tie this all together with my show. It's just that I've gotten to the point now, I go, what else can I do? Why don't you just start enjoying it now?
Amen.
And that's what's happened is I've started enjoying doing my show.
Well, you certainly made a lot of people happy along the way, Bill. Your comedy special, Just Sell Them for Parts, is currently available on Walmart's digital streaming service. Is that fun for you? Is that
Yeah, we should not have put it on Voodoo. My people, I don't know how to get to Voodoo. I do miss the old days of just the record sales.
Sure.
And you should pop into a radio station, they play your stuff, and you interview, But, that's me being grandpa. That's me being dad. Well, the better when I was younger, it was much easier,
Well, real quick before you go, because I know you got a lot of these to go.
Yeah. I would talk to you all morning, but I do have another one, too.
I appreciate it, bud. From Delta Farce to Monster Party, real quick, this movie's out now. Was that enjoyable for you to do something that diverse? And also you go from comedy to doing an incredibly intense thriller?
Yeah, it really was. In fact, I'll tell you the one that's even better than that. Watch The Neighbor that came out about 2 years ago that I did.
Okay.
And it was really fun to crawl into the skin of somebody that people don't expect to see you as. So, and it was, the scary part was how easy I slid into that.
Well, hey, listen, happy anniversary to you early. You got a week to prepare for that, and hope you get out of them lounge pants and get out and do you some shopping, too, okay?
I don't know. These Grinchy lounge pants are pretty damn comfortable. I might be that weirdo that just sits and drinks coffee all day long.
Bill, thanks for making us laugh over the years, bud, and I certainly appreciate the time today, and good luck in Longview, okay?
Hey, God bless you, buddy, and thank you very much.
Bless you, too. Bill Engvall, guys, we're going to see him at Laterno University coming up December 14th at the Belcher Center, and you know what? I hope you guys get a chance to stop off and see him.